Welcome into the Cowboys Report, made possible today by Kinzuri. Life is short, but you don't have to be. Get 15% off the height-boosting shoes at kinzuri.com/chat when you use promo code chat. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We'll look again at the Cordarrelle Patterson trade ideas/rumors out there. The potentiality of signing a USFL kicker for the Cowboys. I think potentiality is a word. Who knows these days? And Kellen Moore has heaped some praise upon Dak Prescott. But first, help me feed my family by subscribing to the Cowboys Report. When you sub, you get free videos, and it allows me to take care of baby Olivia and my wife. So hit that sub button right now. Let's dive into the Cordarrelle Patterson situation. There are more trade rumors, might be a little strong, but we'll put it in quotes, or maybe ideas is the better terminology for it, on the Cowboys going after Cordarrelle Patterson. I do think in general this idea actually makes sense for Dallas. There is uncertainty in terms of provenness behind Tony Pollard. Patterson brings you pass-catching value, rushing value, and plenty of special teams impact there. Now, he is due $4.25 million, which could potentially be a issue for Dallas. But let's break down how these trade rumors have come about. So we'll go in from most recent to oldest. So Inside the Star the other day looked at the idea of trading for Cordarrelle Patterson. Does it make sense, etc.? They cited in that story, June 27th tweet from NFL Rooms, a fraudulent Twitter account, by the way, that does not actually have information and will steal info from others or present ideas as rumors and try to claim credit. They claim Dallas could be interested. I've called them up before. They had me blocked on Twitter as a result, but they put a screenshot in, so thank you, Inside the Star. The real sourcing was June 24th, about a week ago. Heavy Sports proposed a Neville Gallimore for Cordarrelle Patterson, which we actually discussed on the show, and that had then become, oh, well, Dallas has interest. Well, it's all speculation, to be clear, of could Atlanta move him? Does Dallas make sense? But I do like that trade target, and speculation's not a bad thing as long as we're framing it as such and not trying to pretend it's sourced information or anything. It's fine. We do plenty of that here. It's what makes it fun, makes the show enjoyable. I do like Patterson as a trade target. In his time in Atlanta, where they kind of finally unlocked him as a rusher where other teams hadn't really been able to do so, I thought Patterson had played very well. I thought it was impactful. Atlanta was still like, Tyler Algier. Oh, Bijan Robinson. So they've actually got a 1,000-yard rusher in Tyler Algier. Yeah. And they have Bijan Robinson. So as a pure runner, Patterson would be RB3. Now, they can probably continue to use him as a slot receiver, as a gadget piece. In the event they go, you know what, we're going to trade him, I think the trade value would actually be pretty low, all things considered. I think a conditional 7th-round pick that could maybe a 6th-rounder is all you get. Look at what other backs have gone for across the NFL. The trade value for that position is low, especially when you're making $4.25 million this year. So would you do that trade? T for trade, P for pass. We'll spend some more time here, the pros and cons coming up of a Cordarrelle Patterson trade. But if the ad plays here on YouTube, that's fine. Ignore the ad, head down there and go vote. T for trade or P for pass. Some of these pros and cons here. He's a flexible chess piece on offense. He can help you at running back and at slot receiver. More on that in a second. He offers great special teams value. At the same time, the special teams value would be okay. Well, then what do you do with Turpin? Now, maybe Patterson's a better version of what you would like from Turpin, given that Patterson's an all-time great return man, by the way. He's also due $4.25 million, and it would still require Atlanta to want to trade him, and it's all been speculation. No evidence they actually want to do that. But if looking for a backup slot receiver and an RB2/3, Patterson in many ways is like a bigger version of Turpin, where it took him a while to get figured out how to use on offense, but he can actually handle a bigger workload carries-wise than Turpin ever could, because Turpin's significantly smarter than even Tyreek Hill is. But do you want to pay a premium for that in terms of the money? You're paying him almost $4 million more, and the draft capital involved. I'm not sure. We'll find out, I'm sure, if the Falcons do decide to shop Cordarrelle Patterson. Today's show is presented by Kinzuri. If you ever wished you were just a little bit taller, maybe you matched on Tinder, but her profile says must be over 6 foot. I know my boy Producer Sam Brown has had that issue before. Maybe your date wants to wear heels, but you can't because it will make her taller than you, and that just doesn't look quite right for whatever reason. We got Short Kings covered with today's sponsor, Kinzuri. They make shoes that make you up to 2.8 inches taller without anyone knowing. 2.8 inches by itself, it's not that big of a deal. 2.8 on top of whatever you have, ask your girl, that is a significant difference. Kinzuri shoes are not only height boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's ugly Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can get compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are built into the shoes, thus making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time only, you guys get 15% off your order at kinzuri.com/chat. That's an additional 15% off on top of the site-wide 30% discount. So that's 45% off your entire order. Support our show and check them out at conzuri.com/chat. Life is short, but you don't have to be. Time to level the playing field, update that dating profile to 6 foot as well. Kinzuri can be a game changer when it comes to your dating life. So check the comment section and the description. It's kinzuri.com/chat. Kickers are often short people. That's my transition for this one. Michael Gelkin mentioned the possibility of adding a kicker from the USFL, and I do think this makes a decent amount of sense, or at least bring him in for a tryout or a workout and see what they're able to do. The Cowboys will add a kicker soon. Not necessarily today or tomorrow or Tuesday or Friday or whenever, but training camp is this month, and it's not that far away. And the Cowboys have an open roster spot, and not that the money matters because they have plenty of money to kicker too. They can easily add one here. So 4 USFL kickers that you maybe want to be aware of. Luis Aguilar of Philadelphia Stars, Nick Skiba of the New Jersey Generals, Matt Coughlin of the New Orleans Breakers, and Brandon Aubrey of the Stallions, the Birmingham Stallions. Here are their stats this past year. Aguilar hit 68% of his field goals, 95% on extra points, long of 56. I think he has the most consistent big leg of that group. Nick Skiba wasn't signed when he came out of South Carolina, but has had some success in the USFL. Matt Coughlin is a very accurate kicker this past year, 9,500, best of anybody. Now, Brandon Aubrey is the interesting name of this group because very accurate, didn't show much in terms of a leg, and also didn't even attempt to, or didn't hit a kick from beyond 50. Former soccer player, by the way, who had played some in the MLS, made the move to the NFL. So that's an interesting career change for him. Time for my favorite question, or at least one of my favorite questions here. Are kickers people? Y for yes, N for no. No wrong answer. Maybe one that's a little bit more offensive, but no wrong answer. So sound off for me in the comment section. Now, the Cowboys at some point will add a kicker. They are not going to enter and go through all of camp with just Tristan Vizcaino on the 53-man roster. That's not their plan, nor can it be. I mean, they don't really trust him from that perspective. Given that the Cowboys have not yet added a veteran NFL kicker, a USFL addition does make sense. Their season just wrapped up. The Cowboys found success with Turpin, and you can bring him in for a tryout along with some NFL veterans and see if one of them impresses for you. And the Cowboys do have time until training camp. I'm not even going to be that concerned if you get to the first week of camp and there's only Vizcaino on the roster. You know why? These are kickers. In terms of easiest adjustments to the NFL to a new team, isn't kicker the easiest one? Yes, there's chemistry between your holder and your long snapper and the timing, but there's no playbook. You go kick the ball. That's all you have to do. So I think there is time for the Cowboys to be patient from that perspective. Let's talk Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott to wrap up today's show. Kellen Moore recently spoke with Peter Schrager on a variety of topics for his podcast. One of them was Dak Prescott. And look, Kellen Moore could have easily framed this of, the limited time I've had, Justin Herbert. But Kellen chose to answer honestly with what he thinks about Dak Prescott in terms of just the leadership he brings. Here's what Kellen Moore had to say. The best person, he said on Dak Prescott. I think the best leader I've ever been around easily. And in all honesty, player or coach or anything. His ability to connect with a team in all spectrums is rare, and I've never seen it in any other way. His work ethic, his command, which I believe refers to the offense, I think he's incredible. We've all been through that Dallas journey, and he has a phenomenal way of being able to deal with probably more than your average NFL starting quarterback. And he handles it beautifully. He's certainly a guy you forever root for. That is a very common refrain when it comes to Dak when you talk about what he brings to a team. It's the leadership. It's the way he's able to handle things. Being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, with the way the media and the fans and even some of the teammates at times end up treating or being treated, is not easy. It is not an easy job to have. You do have to be wired, in general, differently to be a quarterback, but also to be the Cowboys quarterback in particular. It is not a job for the mentally weak. Clearly, that is not Dak Prescott, despite what Skip Bayless might try to say. So who is your favorite player on the Cowboys? That is the end of today's show. One final question for you guys. No wrong answers. It is just your opinion, after all. Who's your favorite current player on the Cowboys? Go vote in the comments.